Welcome back, and we're speaking with the CEO and founder of Transolution Services, Emmanuella Aboa, and she's here telling us that, you know what, leaders can only get better over the time, and she has a great opportunity for this. And we were discussing about just Africa in general and her experience. And I wanted to bring to you a question of having worked with leaders in the western side of Africa and now eastern side of Africa. Are there comparisons? Do you see some interesting aspects that they could learn from each other?
It's very interesting. That's a misconception that many leaders have. So allow me even to correct you there. Because the perception is that Africa is divided into the west, the north, the east, and south. But when you're working in Africa, you see it from a different perspective altogether. It's more from an English-speaking, francophone, and lusophone factor. Because you will notice that most West African English-speaking countries, the leadership is very similar to that we witness in Eastern Africa, for example. If you look at Ghana or Nigeria, of course there are some differences here and there, but more often than not, the leadership is the same. The bigger difference now comes when you are comparing the francophone and the anglophone countries. So for one, French-speaking countries are very hierarchical. All right. So in terms of facilitating any type of business transaction, there is a whole channel that someone would have to go through. So what that translates into is slowness in the way that business is conducted. Bureaucracy is another aspect that is also affecting most of francophone or French-speaking countries. And someone else as well is this mentality regarding technology. While English-speaking countries have embraced technology, the progress of technology, and use it in literally every area of the business, when it comes to the French-speaking countries, we are still behind. We are quite behind. So there is a lot of work that still needs to be done to digitalize our system and, of course, also make us more efficient and effective in the way we conduct businesses.
Fair enough. And as we come to the tail end of this conversation, I'm curious as well to ask you about, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. We see a lot of goodwill from, countries in Africa really trying to break these borders so that at least matters trade, business can thrive and grow. Is this an aspect that is quite as well, interesting in your training? And, what is in your perspective?
All right. The African Continental Free Trade Area is an amazing policy. Let's just start from there. It's a policy. It's a policy that was created to facilitate business transaction in Africa. But at the end of the day, it is still a policy. A policy on its own cannot have positive repercussion as per se. Because when a policy is good, then we need now individuals or businesses to translate these policies into actionable structures or system. And that is the work that we play at Transolution Services, like I mentioned, because we work in East and Western Africa. We are able to divide, or rather break down this barrier and bring Africa as a unity, as a platform or a continent where individuals can work across without any type of barriers. One of the things that I absolutely love is election in Africa. Whenever we have an election in Africa, we know that business is going to be bad. In a particular country, to be more specific, we know that business is going to be bad. But it can only be bad if you only think local. Because while Kenya, for example, had their business, or their election rather, about a year or two ago, Côte d'Ivoire did not have.
They did not
so have. There are opportunities in Côte d'Ivoire or in Ghana or in Sierra Leone for that matter. So what we are creating, or what we are doing in partnership as well with the African Free Trade Continental Area, is to create these opportunities, develop these leakages so that individuals or business leaders may be able as well to scale up and maximize the opportunities that are within our borders.
I love that. How many countries are in your tray, by the way? Is it every country in West Africa? Or I'm just trying to get to know.
We are in 14 African countries. All right. So most of the Western countries, African countries, do have a Transolution Services office, but on top of my head, I'm thinking Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Mali, Togo, Benin. A few of the countries that we operate from.
All right. And here in East, you're in Uganda, I know.
Tanzania, in Kenya, and in Rwanda.
Wow. Now, I think I want to finalize back to the event that we have this May. It's in May. And I want you to endear the person who's watching today why they should come. What is in it for them?
I think the question should be, why shouldn't you come after listening to me? You know, we've been speaking for about 20 or so minutes.
Absolutely, yes.
If I have not been able to convince you until now, then clearly there is an issue, and please come back to me.
Wow.
Because for anyone who is serious about the businesses, serious about the leadership, and most importantly, wants to position themselves effectively, because change is coming. We are living in a rapidly changing environment. It is no longer about adapting to what is happening. Like I said, it's about preempting. During COVID, for example, the reason why we survived as a firm is because we saw it coming. And so we were able to put the measures that we needed to put to continuously operate and be effective in all the countries that we are in. And there are many more changes that are coming. On top of my head, the conversation that we are currently having is all about the dollar. Many nations now have let go of the US dollar. What kind of impact will it have for anyone who is in the financial sector, for example? When it comes again to the leadership, what will all these changes affect and impact leadership? Because if you look at the evolution of leadership, it has changed over and over again. So when we are looking at the future, what kind of leaders will we need? This is something that we will be talking about. And if you've noticed as well from our flyer, we will have different speakers who will be covering different industries, so that when we are speaking, name a few. All right, when we are speaking about the future of work, we are not looking at it from one perspective, but from an overall, from general several industries. So some of the speakers we will be having, first we are privileged, and I would like to say a big thank you to the Nairobi Securities Exchange, because we are having this event in partnership with the NSC. So we are privileged to have Mr. Jeffrey Odundo as one of our speakers, and he will be looking at the future of work from an investment and financial perspective. Then we have the one and only Chris Senano, who is well known and respected for his contribution within the technology industry, and he will be coming and also speaking to us about the future of work from that perspective. We have Joanne Mwangi, who is well respected in the area of marketing, public relations, and is now the chairwoman of the tourism board. And then she will also come and speak to us about the future of work from those perspectives. We have Mr. Mwaura Kirumba, who is a well-sought leader and entrepreneur. And he will also speak to us about the future of work from that perspective, and without, of course, undermining my person, Emmanuella Aboa, who will also be giving a perspective from the entrepreneurship, leadership, and all the work that we have done within the continent, and the work that we currently have in the pipeline as well.
So I'm actually invited as well. I hope my seat will be quite close to where...
I don't think so, but we'll see. Can you write me a proposal and for consideration?
No, I just want to come and attend as well and get to learn how to thrive at the 45,000 feet.
You do need that, right?
Yes, I need that as well.
Of course, you're invited.
There you have it. Thank you so much for that conversation, and we really wish you well as well, even in this particular empowerment of leaders in this country.
Thank you very much.
And for those of you who are watching as well, you've had it. You know, this breakfast, you can't miss it. I think the details are there. It's happening on the 4th of May. Yes, on the 4th of May, 8 to 10:30 at the Crown Plaza. So you don't want to miss that. And it's only 5,000 bob. I've just checked. I think the flyer and the details as well will be spread around, so make sure you get your date. Thank you so much for your time once again.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That's it. Right now we cross over to the markets.